Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Question number 3. What is osmoregulation? Differentiate between osmoregulator and osmoconformers. Answer. Osmoregulation definition. Osmoregulation is the process of maintaining salt and water balance, osmotic balance, across membranes within the body. Or osmoregulation is the homeostasis of water and dissolved salts. Importance of osmoregulation. Number 1. Balance of water and salt is very critical to the health of organism. Number 2. Life or organism requires a perfect osmoregulation because the cells cannot survive without water. Number 3. Cells swells and burst in excessive gain of water and shiver and die if there is excessive loss of water. Number 4. Water is needed for metabolism and for the transport of materials in the body. Water and solute relation. Introduction. Water is solvent of the solutes in the cell. Each cell has been adapted to a definite quantity of water, about 70% in relation to salts in it, to perform its function. Homeostatic mechanism generally maintain this concentration through osmoregulation. Relation importance. The balance of water and salt solute is very critical to the health of organism because number 1, the water acts as medium for biochemical reactions, help in transport, thermoregulation, excretion, digestion, absorption, etc. So it is very important to have a proper balance of water in the body. Number 2, osmoregulation involves the movement of water by osmosis. Therefore, a proper balance of solute salts is also important in order to maintain water movement. Classification of animals on the basis of osmoregulation. The mechanism of osmoregulation is different in different animals because they face different challenges according to their habitats. Animals may be either osmoregulators or osmoconformers with respect to their osmoregulatory characteristics. That is, number 1, osmoregulator definition: those animals which maintain a constant internal osmotic pressure or concentration of fluid are known as osmoregulators. Need osmoregulation. These animals need osmoregulation because their body fluid is either hypotonic or hypertonic as compared to the external environment. Explanation. Characteristics. Number 1, these animals are independent from their external environment. Number 2, their body fluid contraction is differs from outside environment. Number 3, they discharge excess of water in fresh water environment and excrete salt in marine environment to keep the water and solutes balance in body by using energy. Number 4, these animals live in different habitat and environment, so they have adopted various ways to maintain osmotic pressure constant in the bodies. Example: all chordates except hagfish protists such as amoeba, paramecium, etc. Number 2, osmoconformers definition: those animals whose internal solute concentration or body fluid is equal to that of the external environment are known as osmoconformers. No need of osmoregulation. These animals do not need osmoregulation or in which osmosis is fixed because they have isotonic body fluid with respect to external environment. Explanation characteristics. Number 1. These animals body fluids are same isotonic to the external environment even for marine salt water environment. Number 2. These animals thus do not require actively actively to adjust their internal osmotic state, so they do not need adaptation. Number 3. There will be no net movement of solvent molecules. There will be no net movement of solvent molecules. Examples: all there will be no net movement of solvent molecule. No net movement of solvent molecule. Example: all invertebrates, marine animals, hag fish. Question number 24. Explain the osmoregulation in animals of different habitats and environments. Answer: Osmoregulation in different animals. Introduction. Introduction. Animals living in different environments, that is marine, freshwater and terrestrial environment, have different adaptations to regulate osmotic balance. That is number 1. Freshwater animals. Osmoregulators. Almost all of the freshwater animals are osmoregulators because such animals regulate their body osmotic balance water plus salts. Hypertonic bodies. These animals are generally hypertonic because they have high solute concentration in their body fluids as compared to their external environment. Challenges, problems faced. Number 1. Swelling up. These animals face the problem of swelling up due to the passive movement of water into their bodies from the surrounding environment. Number 2. Loss of salts. These animals face the continuously loss of body salts to the surrounding freshwater environment, which has low salt concentration. Need conservation of salt and rid of excess of water. Adaptation. These animals deal with above mentioned problems by having adaptation in their bodies. These animals deal with the above mentioned problems by having adaptation in their bodies according to particular environment. For example, adaptation in freshwater protozoa, contractile vacuoles, freshwater protozoa, for example, amoeba, paramecium, etc., pump out excessive water by a structure called contractile vacuole. Number two, adaptation freshwater animals. Number one, dilute urine. Freshwater fish remove excess water by producing large volumes of very dilute urine. Number two, kidney. Their kidneys reabsorb the salts that are required for their osmotic balance. Number three, eating food. They also obtain salts from the food they eat. Number four, sono sites. Freshwater animals also perform uptake of salt from the external dilute medium. Uptake of water, uptake of salt. Freshwater animals also perform uptake of salt from the external dilute medium with the help of special salt cells called ionocytes present in the amphibian skin and gill of fish. Number 2, marine animals. Osmoregulator and osmoconformer. An osmoconformer. Marine environment has both osmoregulators and osmoconformers. The osmoregulatory adaptations of these animals are very different from each other. Challenges. Problem faced. Loss of water. As most of the marine animals are hypotonic, less salt to their external environment, hypertonic. So they face the problem of loss of water through permeable surfaces. Number two, excess of salt. As they have low concentration of salt in their bodies as compared to external environment, so there is a net inward movement of salts which leads to the accumulation of excess salts in their body. Need conservation of water and get rid of excess of salt. Adaptations. Marine organisms have various adaptations for regulation of osmotic pressure or balance. For example, adaptation in marine invertebrates. Most marine invertebrates are osmoconformers, means that they maintain their internal environment with respect to external environment. Adaptations in cartilaginous and jawless fishes. Number 2. Among the vertebrates, the cartilaginous species such as shark, rapish, snakes, etc., are some jawless species such as hagfish are also isotonic with the surrounding seawater and are called osmoconformers. Number 3, adaptations in bony fishes. Bony fishes are descendants of freshwater ancestors but later become marine. They are hypotonic, less salt to surrounding seawater and are called osmoregulators. Osmoregulation, they have the following adaptations. Number 1, drinking more water. These species have adapted themselves to drink large amount of seawater. Number 2, concentrated urine. These species excrete concentrated urine and retain more water in body. Number 3, gill ionocytes. They remove monovalent ions or salts such as sodium, potassium, chlorine